Batman is arguably one of the most iconic comic book superheroes of all time. His legacy is one of legend, stretching all the way back to the Golden Age, having left a major imprint on pop culture as time went on. And it doesn't seem like the Caped Crusader is going anywhere anytime soon either. Over the years, as his character's stories continue to grow, fans of DC Comics got to see more than just the regular prime timeline Bruce Wayne doing his thing. It is a multiverse after all, meaning we've seen our fair share of Batman alternates, including ones that are incredibly powerful, even more so than his most popular iteration. So today we are taking a look at some of those other Dark Knights from other timelines and Earths, with our list of the top 10 strongest alternate versions of Batman. It's worth noting that some of these alternates are from different Earths, while others are different transformations that Bruce has experienced over the years in the prime DC timeline. So with that in mind, let's get to it. And at number 10, Darkclaw. Darkclaw is the amalgamation of Batman and Wolverine from the Marvel Universe. He comes from the Amalgam Universe, in which characters from both comic giants were combined after a crossover story event had the two universes meet back in the 90s. Darkclaw is Logan Wayne, and has a regenerative healing factor, adamantium lace skeleton structure with retractable claws, a resistance to telepathy, is a master detective, and his main foe is Hyena, a combination of Joker and Sabretooth. Regardless, Batman meets Wolverine? Yeah, that's a superhero I wouldn't want to have to fight, that's for damn sure. And at number 9, AMAZO Virus Batman. Back in the second volume of Justice League issue 35, we saw Lex Luthor create the AMAZO virus, a synthetic plague that suppressed metahuman abilities, something he used specifically on those who had violent criminal records. The White House shot down Lex Luthor's proposal to use it, calling it controversial and untested, but Luthor being Luthor decided to try to use it on Superman anyway. Now fast forward a bit, Batman gets infected by the virus. Because Batman is human, the reverse happened. He developed metahuman powers, although the virus would eventually try to shut his body down and kill him. But when Batman was infected, he went blind and developed a form of echolocation that would let him project sound from his mouth in order to see like a bat. So essentially, slight power upgrade, although not one that Bruce really wanted to have stick around. And at number 8, the Grim Knight. The Grim Knight has been called the deadliest man alive. He's the alternate version of Batman if Joe Chill dropped the gun in the alleyway after killing Bruce's parents and Bruce picked it up. Originating from the Dark Multiverse, this version of Batman works for the Batman who laughs, the amalgamation of Bruce Wayne and the Joker. More on him later. And he has no remorse or care for any sort of ethical or moral restraint. He uses guns, explosives, weapons of all sorts without any hesitation. He is a master hacker capable of gaining complete technological control over anything he desires, and is even capable of hacking airplanes in order to make them fall from the sky. That skill, combined with his disregard for humanity, makes him one of the most deadliest characters to ever set foot in the prime timeline, and oppose the main continuity version of Batman. And at number 7, Batman 1,000,000. This version of Batman exists in the 853rd century, thousands and thousands of years into the future, where dangerous and deadly criminals have been relocated to a prison on Pluto. A criminal named Zaron rebelled, having thousands of prison guards and their spouses executed in front of their children, causing many of those kids to go insane or commit suicide. Now, one of those kids swore to never let that happen again, and decided to take up the mantle of Batman, knowing the character's legacy and symbolism. This Batman is similar to Bruce Wayne in abilities, but he also has some extra help from the advanced technology of his time. He can create tech beyond anything available in the 21st century, he has an advanced intellect thanks to neocortex structures that allow him to process vast amounts of information beyond what Kryptonians can, and he's also telepathic. Plus, his Batsuit has a major upgrade, having 10 times the capacity of the 21st century Batcomputer. Neat. In at 6, Blackest Night Batman, or otherwise known as the Black Lantern Batman. Back in 2009, DC released a major crossover event called Blackest Night, a story event that involved a character named Necron, a personified force of death, reanimating the corpses of dead superheroes, turning them into Black Lanterns, all as part of a master plan to eliminate all life and all emotion from the universe. Somebody cheer this guy up. Batman was one of the Black Lanterns, something that was made possible thanks to a whole story arc with Darkseid that occurred beforehand, featuring Batman clones and ending with Batman being killed by the villain's Omega beams, only to have Superman discover his dead body right afterwards. It turns out though that Batman had merely been sent back in time rather than killed though, with Bruce eventually figuring out a way to come back to the present. But in the present timeline, everyone was like, yo, Batman is dead you guys, and he becomes a zombie Black Lantern and proceeds to kick the Justice League's collective butts. Long story short though, it was a clone of Batman's who became a Lantern, in a seemingly very confusing story arc, which is later confirmed by Damian Wayne. Still, Black Lantern zombie Batman? Yeah, no bueno. In at number 5, BAT-MAGE. Hailing from Earth 33, BAT-MAGE is what Batman would have been if he was born into a world where magic exists. Essentially, this is a version of Bruce who is a sorcerer. His parents were killed by a sorcerer the name of Cobblepot. Wonder who that alternate is. Cursing Batman into a world of darkness, in which he was transformed into a monstrous bat-like creature. But Bruce took advantage of the poor situation, becoming a master of the dark arts, choosing to seek justice. Eventually he would use his dark magic to help bring order to the world along with his increased and heightened senses, and would join the League of Shamans, the Justice League equivalent on that Earth. Sadly, this version of Batman was erased thanks to the Flashpoint event and no longer exists. In at number 4, Mobius Chair Batman, aka the God of Knowledge. The Mobius Chair was created by the nigh omnipotent supervillain Anti-Monitor, aka Mobius, to aid in his quest for knowledge. The villain, who was the prime antagonist of Crisis on Infinite Earths and could consume whole universes, eventually gave the chair to Metron, which was then taken by Batman during the Darkseid War story event. It essentially turns him into a god of knowledge. Now the chair allows for various different kinds of power, which resembles some of the functions of a mother box. It allows for interstellar teleportation and travel, life support which allows its user to survive even the harshest environments like outer space. It's omniscient, it can create holograms and force fields, and it has a tractor beam that's powerful enough to pull a planet out of orbit. So what does Bruce do with it? Well, he gets revenge on Joe Chill, a story that has been played out before and was criticized this time around due to Batman using a cosmic level chair plot device to uncover it, rather than, earning that knowledge like in the many iterations the story has been played out in the past. Just saying. In at number 3, White Lantern Batman. This is another version of Batman that ties into the Blackest Night crossover event at this number. So at the end of the crossover, we saw the White Lantern entity pop up, bringing dead heroes back to life. Deadman, a character who is a disembodied spirit and can possess others, was given the responsibility of finding a champion for Earth to wear the White Lantern ring. And who does he choose? Well, Batman, of course. While Bats would eventually give up the ring when it was in his possession, he was capable of many awesome abilities. The ring is a life energy conduit, drawing on and connected to the powers of life and creation. So Bruce could tap into the emotional spectrum and dominate it using the powers of each lantern color, create force fields and energy blasts, create energy constructs, allow him to phase through solid objects, become invisible, absorb energy, fly, create wormholes, heal and resurrect the dead, and it would also allow its wearer to see the footprints of life, which are the essence or souls of those who have died recently. Not too shabby. In at number 2, Red Death. During the Dark Knight's Metal story event, we got to see a plethora of Batman alternates come out of the Dark Multiverse, working with the evil deity of Barbatos, whose goal it was to plunge the central DC multiverse into utter darkness. From Earth -52 in the Dark Multiverse, this Batman is a combination of Bruce Wayne and the Flash. After the deaths of multiple Robins, this Bruce began to use more extreme methods of fighting crime, and eventually, after knocking the Flash out and chaining him to the hood of the Batmobile, which had been modified to act as a cosmic treadmill of sorts, he drives into the Speed Force, which fuses him and Barry Allen together. With Earth -52 on the brink of destruction, he murders his rogue gallery and joins up with Barbatos, using his abilities as Batman and the Flash to screw with the regular multiverse. One of his abilities allows him to accelerate aging in others, to the point of death, which he attempted to use on the prime timeline Barry Allen's loved ones, but the Scarlet Speedster manages to put an end to it. And finally, in at number 1, the Batman Who Laughs. The Batman Who Laughs is the result of an alternate version of Batman killing the Joker. The Joker's body would release Joker toxin, which Batman then inhaled, turning him into a Jokerized version of Bruce Wayne. He tricks the Bat family, murders them, then goes on to kill all of the Justice League. He also uses his Robins as a pack of wild dogs of sorts, keeping them on chain leashes. He's all of the talents, intellect, strategy, and genius of Bruce Wayne, combined with the utter chaos and desire for catastrophe of the Joker. Hailing from Earth -22 from the Dark Multiverse, he's the leader of the Dark Knights, aka the evil Batman amalgamations from other negative Earths, and can do everything Batman and the Joker can do, plus has cosmic awareness, toxic immunity, pain resistance, he can cheat death, carries around dark metal cards that allow him to manipulate reality, and also possesses a modified strain of Black Kryptonian. It's perhaps the deadliest combination we've seen in DC Comics yet. Alright, there we have it, friends. What other alternate versions of Batman do you think are incredibly strong? Give us a shout in those comments below, and perhaps we'll do a part 2 of this video. There's plenty of Batman alternates to go around. In the meantime though, if you dug this list, be sure to spread the love and hit that like button, and hey, why not subscribe and hang out with us some more? We even have a nifty little playlist flashing on your screen that you should totally check out. But for now, thanks for watching. I'll catch you all in the next one.